A Saturday where you showed houses to 4 or 5 different buyer clients is a good Saturday. What happened Sunday morning is the problem. You have 5 posts showing follow-up emails to write. Each one needs to reference the specific properties that buyer saw, their reactions, and a clear next step. If you send the same generic follow-up to all 5, thanks for looking at houses with me. Let me know your thoughts. You are eroding the relationship you just built. Buyers notice when an email could have gone to anyone. They notice when it specifically mentions the house on Demo Street where they spent 20 minutes in the backyard, or when it acknowledges that they were not excited about any of the 3 properties, but you have 2 more coming on market next week that you want them to see first. The personalization is what moves the relationship forward. In this video, I'll write 5 personalized posts showing follow-up emails in 8 minutes using a single ChatGPT prompt. Each one references the specific properties, specific buyer reactions, and a specific next step. The manual version of this is 45 minutes minimum if you are doing it right. Here it is 8 minutes. Quick disclaimer. This is an educational productivity demo. Email marketing regulations apply to any bulk email workflow. In the US, CAN-SPAM requires clear sender identification, a physical address, and an unsubscribe path in commercial emails. In Canada, CSL requires express or implied consent, sender identification, and an unsubscribe mechanism. In the UK GDPR and PCR apply. In Australia, the Spam Act requires consent, identification, and unsubscribe. These are follow-up emails to active clients you are already working with. Implied consent typically applies, but you need to know your jurisdiction's specific rules. This is a productivity workflow, not email compliance advice. Some links are affiliate. Full disclosure in the description. Here is the real situation. You get home from a full Saturday of showings at 7 p.m. You are tired. You have 5 follow-up emails to write. The right time to send them is Sunday morning, when buyers check their email and are thinking about the process. If you write them Sunday morning at 7 a.m., you have about 90 minutes before other responsibilities start. 5 emails with genuine personalization takes 45 minutes minimum. You are pulling up your showing notes, remembering which buyer said what about which house, writing a specific opener, identifying the right next step for each relationship. If you are tired or rushed, you either skip the personalization or you skip some of the emails entirely. I kept a showing notes log for exactly this problem. A Google Sheet where I jot 3 things per showing: buyer name, address is shown, and a 1-line reaction note. Something like, love the backyard on Demo Street, not interested in the kitchen on Placeholder Avenue, flag the price gap on Sample Road. Takes 30 seconds per showing to log. That log becomes the input for this prompt. Without it, the workflow still works, but the personalization is shallower. Let me show you the input format quickly before we get to the prompt. I keep a Google Sheet with 4 columns: buyer name, properties shown with address and price, 1-line reaction notes per property, and next step I already have in mind. 4 or 5 buyers from Saturday. That is about 3 minutes total to fill in while I am driving home or right after the last showing. The reaction notes do not need to be detailed. Loved it. Was hesitant about the price. Not interested. Needs more time. Wants to see it again. Mentioned the commute concern. Those reaction notes are what make the follow-up email feel specific rather than generic. I am going to navigate to the sample showing log now, copy the data, then build the ChatGPT prompt. Here is the complete prompt. Role instruction. You are a real estate buyer's agent assistant writing personalized posts showing follow-up emails. Each email should reference the specific properties the buyer saw, their specific reactions, and suggest a concrete next step. Tone is warm, professional, and brief, not generic, not templated. Then the output instruction. Write 5 separate emails, each under 150 words. Label each email with the buyer name. Each email must open with a specific reference to something from that showing, not a generic thanks for joining me opener. Then the email compliance note. Each email must include a brief unsubscribe note at the bottom, something like reply stop to unsubscribe from follow-up emails. Then the buyer data block. I will paste the showing log data here. 4 or 5 sample buyers. Buyer 1 is Alex Chun. Saw 320 Demo Street at $395,000 and reaction was love the backyard. Wants to bring a second viewing, and the next step in my notes is schedule second showing. Buyer 2 is Maria Santos. Saw 410 Placeholder Avenue at $420,000. Reaction was concerned about commute distance. Next step is send commute time research. Buyer 3 is James Wright. Saw 225 Test Lane at $360,000 and 401 Sample Road at $385,000. Reactions. Test Lane too small. Sample Road price feels high. Next step is discuss pricing context. Buyer 4 is Sarah Kim, saw 114 demo drive at $375,000. Reaction was neutral, no strong reaction either way. Next step is check in with new listings. Buyer 5 is David Okafor, saw 308 example court at $405,000. Loved it, said it was the best one yet. Next step is discuss offer strategy. Those are the 5 buyers. Running the prompt now. 5 emails come back. Let me check the personalization on each one. Alex Chin's email opens with a reference to the backyard on Demo Street and ends with a clear ask to schedule a second look. That is exactly right. Maria Santos's email opens with the commute concern and says I pulled together the drive times you were thinking about. That next step reference from my notes is now in the email. James Wright's email acknowledges both properties and the price hesitation without being negative about the market. It pivots to let's look at what else is in the range with similar specs. Sarah Kim's email is the shortest because the showing data was neutral. A light check-in with a line about 2 new properties matching her criteria coming on market. David Okafor's email opens with the strongest language because his reaction was the strongest, and it ends with an offer strategy question. An agent I know who tested this workflow told me the specific openers were the biggest improvement over what she was writing manually. She said she would never have opened with something as specific as your exact words about the backyard when we were leaving because it felt too detailed to remember and write in a follow-up. The model remembered it because it was in the data you gave it. That is the advantage of the showing log habit. 30 seconds of notes creates a much better email 2 days later. Before any of these go out, 2 checks. First, read each email in your own voice out loud. If any line sounds unnatural to you, too formal, too casual, a phrase you would never say, swap it. The goal is that each email sounds like you wrote it, not like an AI wrote it and you pasted it. Second, confirm the unsubscribe line is present in each email. The prompt includes it as an instruction, so it should be there, but you verify. I also tried building this workflow in a follow-up email tool I was already paying for. The tool has an AI compose feature. What it cannot do is batch 5 different personalized emails in one prompt. You have to open a new compose window for each buyer, type their context individually, and generate one at a time. That is better than writing from scratch, but it is still 5 separate sessions. The single prompt batch approach here is faster for a Saturday showing block specifically because you already have all 5 buyers' data in one log. Time from this session. Filling in the showing log during Saturday evening, 3 minutes for 5 buyers. Opening ChatGPT and typing the full prompt with data block, for minutes and 20 seconds. Waiting for output, 90 seconds. Reading 5 emails and making minor tone edits, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Total, under 13 minutes. Manual version, 45 minutes minimum for 5 genuinely personalized emails. Pulling up showing notes, writing specific openers, remembering buyer reactions accurately, writing a clear next step for each relationship. The quality comparison is not just about time. The manual version at 45 minutes on a tired Sunday morning often still produces emails that feel slightly generic because the fatigue blurs the personalization. The prompt version starts from your exact notes, generates specific openers every time, and is ready in the time it takes to make coffee. The full prompt is in the description. Copy it, fill in your buyer showing data, and you have 5 emails in 8 minutes. I also linked the 4-column Google Sheets showing log template so you can start the habit immediately. The free prompt pack has this plus 9 other email and follow-up workflow prompts. Subscribe for 3 AI workflows a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Next video, I am covering how to build a full FAQ page for your website using ChatGPT from the actual questions clients ask you most. 10 minutes from a list of questions to a complete, publishable FAQ. See you then.